Joshua, will you move to that table for me? Okay. So there's gonna be a couple times during our lesson today where we're gonna have partner discussions. So you three will talk together, you three will talk together, and then y'all can talk 2 and 2. Okay? Sound good? Okay. Before we start, so the first thing we're gonna do is I want you guys to think of a definition for weather hazard. Don't say it out loud. I want you to think of it. I'm going to give you some time to think of it. Whatever the first thing you think of when you hear that phrase, and then in just a second, you're going to talk about it at your table, okay? So weather hazard. I think of a definition for that. Whenever you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Okay, now take some time and tell your partner what you thought of.
I thought it's like really bad weather, like tornadoes or something like that, or like a hurricane. What do you think, Joshua?
Okay, Owen, will you tell us what you told your partner? A tornado, okay.
I thought it was like maybe like really bad weather, like a tornado or a hurricane.
Right. Okay.
It's like when the bell goes off, that means something bad's gonna happen during this weather, hurricanes, tornadoes,
Yeah, Gabby.
A weather hazard, what I think it is, I think it means, like, it's warning you that there's gonna be bad weather.
Okay, good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna watch a couple videos of some weather hazards that have happened in our area. These are a few years ago, so don't worry. But the first one is gonna be from Josh Johnson, the weatherman from WSFA, and he's gonna show us a street view from a street camera of a tornado.
I know this guy. South of downtown Troy. Let's take a view at the traffic cams in Troy. This will give us a good ground truth to what's happening there. You can see lots and lots of wind blowing sideways there. That's a view via US Highway 231. There in the heart of downtown Troy. You see people out driving in this. I sure hope it's necessary to be out driving in this. If it's not, you need to be at home. This is rough stuff here. This is the real deal. The possible tornado is going to the south of downtown Troy. So let's go back to radar if we can here, because the dangerous part of this storm is actually south of where you're looking at now. You can see some power going out at that specific intersection there as the wind whips across the highway down below, and the traffic signals continue to kind of get blown about there as well. The possible tornado would be south of this, along Elba Highway.
That's what someone's saying.
Did you hear what he said at the end there?
No, I can really hear.
But people are not driving in this.
Yeah.
Stop
like,
it.
We said that earlier. When that happened, we have our safe spot when there's a tornado, it's in our closet. And when we have to go there, all the blankets are over me.
This one is a video somebody took of their backyard during a hurricane.
My grandpa loves it. You wanna hear something bad?
Let's take it.
Ooh,
I got
Jesus.
something. TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok video. That's TikTok.
I see the water. I see the water.
How's that a hurricane? We're seeing bad weather. I've been to one of those before. Where is the bad weather? I see the weather. Look at the water right there. Not like some flooding. Hurricanes get on board that water. valid. Miss Bella.
Yeah.
Usually when there's a tornado, and we just go in our bathroom because it's in a hallway where no windows are close to it. There's no windows in our bathroom.
Okay.
And when I'm in
Hold on to
there,
that for later,
I
okay?
always have the pillows and blankets on top of me.
Okay, now I'm gonna hand everybody a sticky note, okay? So when you get your sticky note, the first thing you're gonna do is write your name on the back, okay? So we know who's
I don't know what the stick
Name on the back.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just gonna flip it up.
I just using two papers because this wasn't even
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't remember when it flooded.
maybe there's a power. That would be nice.
I was probably in my mom and pop's house.
Okay, whenever your name is written on the back of your sticky note, what I want you to do is think of as many types of weather hazards as you can think of. Okay, that can be 1, that can be 3, that can be 5, that can be 10. However many you can think of. I want you to write them all down.
Like what kind
And
of
then think about the definition that we talked about earlier in
Oh,
your
like
group.
the stuff
Kind of
that's in
use
your
that to
house.
think about different types of weather hazards.
like
And then write
the bathroom and all that.
Think
I'm
about it.
already doing
Write
that.
on your sticky note whenever you've written down everything you can think of. Come and stick it on this sheet of paper, okay?
Can I just draw a picture of my house?
Down.
I want you to write down different types of weather hazards. If you need to
I'm
draw a picture of it, that works too.
Miss,
I don't know. It's
the whole thing. How do you spell tornado?
How do you spell siren?
Nobody knows.
Just spell it the best you can, okay?
Siren. Head.
Siren.
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 Head.
Y'all just put in some different type of monsters.
Siren is S-I-R-E-N.
Siren.
Bro, siren is a monster.
Siren
That's
head.
not a hurricane.
Be writing, be writing.
We have already got a storm shadow, and I don't feel safe in it because the door's not that good. It really isn't. I've been to our house.
Hazard. Hot. Cold.
Okay, whenever you've written every kind of weather hazard you can think of, just come and stick it on our chart paper.
I'm not too bad.
Oh, that's what I was trying to
Make sure your name is written on the back and then come stick it on the paper.
That was, it was a thing. Water hazard.
On that paper right there.
Water
Make sure your name is on the back.
Look, I'm just telling you, this is choosing number. That's the best way to spell it. Look. I'm already on.
How y'all doing?
Let me see.
Let me put my eraser.
Hold up, you can't wait yet.
Whenever you finish, look up at me so I know you're ready to move on.
There's mine.
What is Can we do volcano?
If you think it's a weather hazard,
It is. It'll flood the
try
earth.
to use the
Some
definition we
people
got
have
earlier,
a,
okay?
Oh, I
The
use
definition that we talked about earlier.
okay, I'm just gonna write the word and then I'm gonna write the definition. But it's that I'm talking about. Oh, cold.
This fell one time there was a tornado, and my grandparents had to be out in it because we had chickens, and we had to get them all. And then when they got done, and Granddaddy was at the door, and he looked out, and it wasn't there when he was coming back, and one of our chicken houses were gone.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't have chickens. Did they flew away? We have chickens. We have no, they don't.
Okay, I'm gonna give y'all one more minute to finish writing it. You're good? Okay.
Guess what? How many I put?
I had a great
Are y'all all good?
I'm not ready.
finish up your sentence and go ahead and come and stick it on the papers.
I'm old, there was a thing underground, like a little tornado shelter. My grandpa,
Hold on, I
he
heard
was getting
something on my
inside
foot.
it, and then there was a piece of wood, and it hit his arm.
Oh Lord, mine is too big.
What are you doing?
Gabby? Okay. Who hasn't stuck their sticky notes to the board?
We're supposed to be meeting the WSFA meeting, but we haven't yet, and we've had to reschedule it so many times because my dad was at Adam's bus shop.
Those are how many I put.
Okay.
And they took a video to send Mama because the hurricane that the tornado.
Oh, yeah, it's all over
Facebook. You could see the tornado, and they sent it to WSFA, and it got shown on the news.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, your dad sent it to my dad. What do you have in this?
This is what I wrote.
Probably gonna know I wrote. Pretty fun.
Okay. So who wants to take a wild guess what you think we're going to be learning about today? You can say it.
Weather and rain sirens. Tornado.
Yeah, we're going to be learning about weather hazards, but we're also going to be learning about different ways to stay safe when weather hazards hit, okay? But before we start, we have a problem.
Take cover. Be safe.
We have a problem we have to address.
Can you help?
Gabby, will you read our problem for us?
Can you help? Josh Johnson from WSFA, who we watched earlier, has learned that there is a hurricane heading our way with rain so heavy that the area will flood. The city is looking for someone to build a shelter that will withstand the rain and flood to protect the community. Can you help? Yes, we can.
Right.
Really?
So the weatherman. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
But the weatherman that we watched earlier learned that there's a hurricane coming, and our area is going to flood, and so they've asked us to help build a shelter that will protect the community.
I know. Build a shelter that's 15 tall. 15 feet
We're not
tall.
going to do that today, but Friday we're going to do that. But today, first, before we can do that, we need to learn how. So we need to know about weather hazards and different ways to stay safe.
Can I say one?
Okay, so y'all go ahead and open up your textbook to page 271. The page number's on the board in case you need it, okay?
I read it.
Whenever you're there, put your hand on your head.
I'll put my hand on my head.
Put your hand on your head.
There it is.
Colin, are you ready?
Put the hair on my head.
Page 271.
Page 271.
Wait, I forgot one. I keep forgetting. Joshua, put your hand.
Are you making popsicle sticks? I ain't. I'm just doing it.
What? It's because I got the right one on there.
See?
Dude, just put your hand on the side of it.
Okay, so I'm going to read, and then we're going to ask some questions as we go, okay? So I'm going to read out loud, and you guys read along with me.
Okay.
So we're page 271. We're starting with thunderstorms. Severe weather is dangerous weather. Do you think severe weather and weather hazards? might be- Yeah, so those are the same thing, okay? Severe weather is dangerous weather. A thunderstorm is one kind of severe weather. A thunderstorm is heavy rain with thunder and lightning. Sometimes thunderstorms have hail and strong winds too. Do you guys know what hail is?
Yes, it's
Yes,
like
ice.
a little big
It's
piece of ice.
It's ice that falls from the sky.
Yeah,
You have to
ice.
get hit by when you leave.
Other kinds of severe weather include blizzards, tornadoes, and hurricanes. A blizzard is a storm with heavy snow and strong winds. And you see over on the side where it's under the picture where it says hail is pieces of ice that fall from clouds. So y'all are right.
We had a bad hailstorm a couple weeks ago, and it was so bad that it broke a window.
Oh, yeah. Okay, everybody see the box at the bottom that says thunderstorm safety. Owen, will you read the first bullet?
Find shelter in the two-story building.
Callie, will you read the second bullet?
Keep away from windows, water, and trees.
Zian, will you read our third bullet?
Keep away from metal objects.
And Emery, will you read our fourth bullet?
Keep away from things that use electricity.
Good. Why do you think it's important to stay away from metal objects during thunderstorms? Ayana?
Because you never know, it might, the wind might be strong and the metal, you never know, it might fly and it might hit you.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want
Joshua, what do you think?
by what?
Why do you think it's important to stay away from metal objects during a thunderstorm?
You know what I do when there's a hurricane?
A thunderstorm?
I have a bunch of pillows all over my head.
Yeah. So also, what else does the text say that happens during a thunderstorm?
It says keep away from things that use electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Because you
I know.
never, and water too.
And keep
Because
away from
water
windows,
and
windows, and trees, especially
because-
windows.
You see, our text says that a thunderstorm is heavy rain with thunder and lightning. And metal conducts electricity. So if you're touching something metal and it gets struck with lightning, it'll electrocute you.
Yes,
That's
I know
what
what
it
I know what
says.
electricity can do. I know.
Yes.
How? Why do you want to keep away from water?
From water, because water will also conduct electricity.
Because if water and
Electricity can travel through water.
Yes. It can?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, it can.
So if you're in the bath or you're swimming in a pool or something, get struck with lightning, it'll electrocute you.
That's
Oh,
why your
hold
parents
on.
usually don't let you
Take
take a shower.
Okay,
It's
everybody
like a
turn
whole
to the
thing.
next page, page 272.
That's a hurricane right there.
Read about it. I'm gonna read it out loud, and you guys follow along, okay? Tornadoes. Tornadoes can happen during thunderstorms. A tornado is a small but very strong wind that comes down from thunderstorm clouds. Tornadoes form very quickly. It is hard to predict when tornadoes will happen. A tornado can destroy things in its path. Let's see, everybody go down to the box at the bottom that says tornado safety. Jonathan, will you read the first bullet for me?
Go to the basement or an inside room.
Ariana, will you read the second bullet? The tornado safety box at the bottom.
Crouch under the stairs or near an inner wall.
What's an inner wall? It's a wall inside your house. It's in the middle.
The third bullet is literally what it said on the last one.
Leslie, will you read the third bullet for us?
Stay away.
And Ayana, will you read the fourth?
Cover your head.
Cover your head. There we go.
I'll cover.
Why would you cover your head during a tornado?
Because
Owen?
There could be something that comes through your house or something.
That's exactly right. You're covering your head because the winds of the tornado are so strong, it can blow things in through the windows and stuff. And so covering your head keeps you safe.
my mom and dad got my brother's skateboard helmet and his baseball helmet, and they told me to put on his baseball helmet.
That's
what
what
my
parents
told me
told
to do.
Y'all
That's
have
what my
already told
parents told me
stories
to do.
about
I
having
won't
pillows
hide
and
my
blankets in your basements and your inside rooms away from
And
windows. So y'all already know how to stay safe from tornadoes.
Because we was in a tornado once. You can ask.
Mm-hmm.
There was a tornado in our neighborhood, but it really didn't hit us. But we had like the seasoning around our kitchen area. All of them fell off. Yeah, you could see it from the backyard. And they were rolling down.
When we have bad weather, we go in the hallway because our hallway doesn't have any windows.
My
Yeah,
dad,
good. That's what you're supposed to do.
I
And we
told
get up
my
under
dad
a cover.
that I don't really like to be outside when a thunderstorm, but he said the safest place is at the storm turret. But I said no, it's not. It's actually from bricks. Bricks are not that strong.
Everybody turn to page 274. Our next page.
Yeah, but concrete.
Can I read it?
Hold on, I'm gonna read out loud and you guys follow along, okay? Hurricanes. A hurricane is a large storm that starts over warm ocean water. A hurricane has heavy rains. The rains can cause floods. A hurricane has very strong winds. The winds can knock down trees and buildings. You remember the video that we just watched about the hurricane and what was happening?
It was like raining a lot and it was flooding.
Yeah, it was raining.
It was a lot of water.
Everybody find the hurricane safety box on 275. Callie, will you read the first bullet?
Move away from the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Zam, will you read bullet number 2?
Bring not loose object inside.
Good. Jonathan, will you read bullet 3?
Stay inside and away from windows.
And Joshua, will you read bullet 4?
Store extra food and water in your home.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think the textbook tells us to bring loose objects inside during a hurricane? Emery?
So it don't fly into your house and hit you in the head.
Yeah, because the wind is blowing so hard during a hurricane, like our text says, right? So we gotta bring all our loose objects inside, tie them up so they don't go blowing into no man's land, right? Let's see.
Or into the tornado, because that will make the tornado bigger.
Can I say one?
What is something that all 3 of our safety boxes that we've read have in common? Ayana?
So all of them, they keep you safe from tornadoes, hurricanes, and
Snow butters.
and thunderstorms.
Yeah. Jonathan, what do you think?
They all say stay away from windows.
Yeah, why do you think they all say to stay away from windows?
Because it can hit you and scatter and really bad.
Or the wind.
It could bust your eye.
Okay, let's let Emery answer.
Everyone says stay indoors.
Mm-hmm. They do also say indoors, you're right.
Because you're supposed to.
So all of these weather hazards involve what?
Staying indoors.
They have
And do
wind,
not stay
they
by
have
windows.
rain.
Saving you. They have flooding. It's saving
Yeah.
you.
You stay indoors if you don't
So that's why it's important to stay away from windows, right?
I mean, I'm the way first will.
Why do you think it's important to be prepared for severe weather like this? Leslie?
In case it does happen, so you can be like prepared and ready.
Yeah, you don't want it to sneak up on you and then you're stuck in a hard situation, right? You want to be safe and you want to be prepared at all times.
My dad literally yelled at us in the hall. He said, "Get your stuff on," and we didn't even know it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even have our rain boots. I was running outside with a gun in my hand. He scratched me on the face. This is what it was.
Yeah.
He scratched me, and we was running outside really hard. I had no shoes on. I had no rain jacket. I was just in a crop top and really short.
Weather hazards are really dangerous, so that's why it's important to be prepared so that we're safe and healthy during bad weather.
It was in the middle of the night. If you're not prepared, you might get yourself killed.
Yeah. Okay, everybody close your textbook. We're done with everything now.
Watch a video.
Yeah, but now we're about to watch a video that's going to talk a little bit more about what we just talked about. It's going to tell us
Like
what the
thunderstorms.
difference is between severe weather and normal weather and why it's important that we know. And also a few more other safety plans for all of us. But, hold on, but in this video, she uses 2 vocabulary words often that we're going to talk about so that you guys aren't confused during the video. So the first one is biosphere. It's kind of a big word, right? So biosphere, this is a picture and a definition that I'm going to hang up for you guys to use, okay? So the biosphere is the living and non-living parts of the environment. So our rocks and our mountains and our water that are all on here, those are the non-living houses. And then birds and fish and plants, those are all the living parts.
And
So in our video, whenever she talks about the biosphere, she's talking about all of the living and the non-living parts, okay? But she also uses the word geosphere. They're very similar. The only difference is that this one is more of the non-living parts. So the geosphere is only talking about the rocks and the soil and the sediment and the sand, okay?
It's the earth plant.
Yeah, so not the living parts. Okay.
Stella. My brother, I'm pretty sure he's jumping. He said ants are living.
They are
They are.
because they need water and food and
They
sunlight.
grow too like humans.
They don't. So we're gonna watch this video. And if they start using these vocabulary words, you can refer to these pictures so you can know what they mean, okay?
Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about, sorry about that. Today we're going to talk about, are you finished, Thunder? Thank you. Thunder is pretty excited because today's episode is all about it. Well, to be more specific, today's episode is all about severe weather. But before things get all snowy, windy, and rainy in here, let's bundle up and ask ourselves the big question. What exactly is severe weather, and how is it different from regular weather?
That's easy to tell.
We know that weather is a condition of the air or atmosphere on our planet. Severe weather is the same thing, only more extreme. Extreme! But what does that mean? How do you know when weather is severe or extreme and when it isn't? Well, severe weather is any dangerous act of nature that puts people, animals, or buildings at risk. Some light rain probably wouldn't count as severe weather, but a thunderstorm with heavy rain and lightning would. Tornadoes, blizzards, hurricanes, floods, and droughts are other forms of severe weather that can be dangerous to humans. But the more you know about these weather events, the less scary they seem. Let's start with tornadoes. A tornado is a fast-spinning column of air that stretches all the way from a thunderstorm cloud down to the Earth's surface. With wind speeds of up to over 300 kilometers an hour, tornadoes have the power to pick up and destroy everything in their path. While not quite as windy as a tornado, blizzards are storms with blowing or falling snow, high winds of their own, and cold temperatures. Hurricanes, or typhoons, are storms with high winds and heavy rain that start over warm ocean waters and bring lots of water with them. Speaking of lots of water, let's talk flooding. Floods happen when too much rain forces streams, rivers, and lakes to overflow, sending lots and lots of water where it doesn't belong, like your backyard. A drought is sort of the opposite. Think a lot less water, or no water at all. Droughts happen when an area doesn't receive enough rainfall, drying up rivers and lakes, killing trees, and ruining crops. All of those forms of severe weather have a big impact on the biosphere and the geosphere. How so? Let's find out. I'll conjure up some different types of severe weather to see exactly how shakeups in the atmosphere can impact the biosphere and the geosphere. Severe weather can be dangerous for people, obviously, but beyond affecting humans in the biosphere, severe weather can also affect plants and animals, too. Take a drought. After very long spells without enough rain, this nice mountain pond will become smaller and maybe even dry up entirely. That means less habitat for the animals that live in the water, like ducks and beavers. But it also means less plant life around because plants need water too. And fewer plants mean less food for animals like deer and elk that feast on them. But what about the opposite problem? What about too much water in the form of heavy rain? Really strong thunderstorms can sometimes bring lightning and high winds that can damage trees, maybe breaking off some of their limbs, uprooting them, or even setting them on fire. This is bad news, not only for the tree, but also for everything that lives in it. And finally, even the ground, as solid as it might seem, can be reshaped by severe weather. Strong, recurring floodwaters act like powerful rivers and can actually wear down rocky formations like mountains over time. And sometimes big flows of rainwater can cause a slope or hillside to collapse, in an event called a mudslide. The atmosphere interacts strongly with the other spheres of the environment, particularly when it's cooking up severe weather. It can even move things in the biosphere and reshape the geosphere.
Conclusion.
So now you know how to tell if weather is severe or not. Ask yourself, does it put life or property at risk? Does it have a major impact on the biosphere and the geosphere? If the answer is yes, you're not dealing with normal weather patterns. Severe weather might be less common, but it has a much bigger impact on the world around you. Anything to add, Thunder? I guess that means we're done.
Okay, everybody turn and tell your partner or the people at your table group one thing you learned from that video. Something new you learned.
that if it's like a lot of rain, when it's like raining a lot, like big strong winds,
I learned more about hurricanes.
and then like when it's raining a lot, and when it's like really strong winds, it can blow the trees down, and then it can like be too much water, and people will like when if they have to like go get go get something, they're gonna have to like if they try to go get something that they had dropped in the water, they're gonna swim down there to get it.
Well, yeah.
I can swim.
I can swim. That's not a word. Seriously? I can really swim.
Really swim.
I can swim.
I can even swim 1 feet.
Yeah, I'm shorter.
I went to my brother went to the I can't swim 1 foot.
Joshua, will you share with us what you shared? What's one new thing you learned?
I didn't do anything. It was hard.
Well, do you want to share with us what you learned from the video?
No.
You didn't learn anything new?
I didn't learn anything.
Ariana, what did you learn?
So I learned when it rains a lot, it's like too much water, and then when it's raining a lot and there's a lot of water, and it would kind of like damage the trees that the animals live in it, and the strong winds will blow the trees.
Yeah. Zian, tell us what you shared, because I thought that was cool.
That big water can knock down tall mountains.
Yeah, it'll wear mountains down.
Huh?
Jonathan, what did you share?
That hurricanes are bad and sometimes not bad.
Yeah. Owen, what about you?
They're bad though.
Tornadoes can knock down anything that are in their path.
That's right. Good job, y'all.
That means they can knock out.
Like people with their houses in the road.
So on Friday, what we're going to do is we're going to do a STEM activity where we take everything that we've learned today and we're going to build a shelter that'll protect from rain. We'll talk about it more on Friday so that we can solve our problem that we talked about earlier. But now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little activity with scenario questions.
Scenario? What?
Do you guys know what a scenario is?
Yes, I know.
Zan, what's a scenario?
Oh, never mind.
I built a shelter.
It's like a pretend situation.
Oh, yes,
So, I'm going to have them posted on the board, and I'm going to read them out loud, but they're also written on your papers, okay? So I'm going to pass you all out a worksheet, and write your name at the top first. We're going to answer these ourselves.
This bill. One time when I think I was with my dad, and they said it was raining so hard that one of their trees fell down in my granny's backyard.
Yeah.
And I even saw it. It was about like this big.
Oh. Did it hit you?
Well, I think we had goats right there.
Safe place already.
We had goats right there. But we had goats right there too.
Make sure you write your
They
name
have
at
found
the
their own
top.
shelter.
So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through a couple of fake scenarios, which means that we're going to read these and we're going to pretend like this is happening to us. And so our answers are going to be what we would do in this situation, okay? So after you've written your name on your paper, look at me so I know you're ready. By ourselves. We're going to answer these by ourselves. So just write in complete sentences, and you can answer in a sentence or two on your lines. So our first one. Okay, scenario number one. It's also number one on your paper if you want to follow along. So you are playing in a treehouse when the sky gets dark and you start hearing thunder. Should you stay in the treehouse during the thunderstorm? If not, what should you do?
Oh, I got one.
You're going to write it on your paper.
All right. Look. This is what I would do.
Write down what you should do in this situation and why you would do that.
I don't know. People have to go directions. I just want to tell it to you.
you're done with number one, just look up at me. We're gonna go through all of them at the same time. Are we ready to go to number two?
No.
No. We'll take a few more seconds.
Yes. No. Yes. Hold on. No. Okay.
Scenario number two. When you're at school and a tornado happens or the tornado siren goes off, what do you normally do and why?
I just want to tell people. They gotta do a starting. This happened 2 times this year for real. I had to stay in the hallway. It did. You weren't here that day.
I only been here for one of them. He was crying. I was too. Because you wasn't here on that tornado.
They weren't. You weren't here at this school. The last one. The one before you were actually here.
Whenever you're ready for number three, give me a thumbs up.
To the third grade building over there.
Thank you, Zia.
We stayed
Thank you,
in the
Jonathan.
third grade building.
Yeah, we stayed in the third grade. No.
Cameron?
Oh. No, we didn't.
On this one.
That, not that one. The different one.
No, we survived. But at least you did. Because without what I think that the fourth grade girl told me, come down.
The break-in.
And I cried.
She thought it was
Well, you didn't cry.
Everybody good? Thumbs up?
No. I'm not gonna turn this thumbs down to a thumbs up.
Just did.
Okay, we're gonna move to number three.
No! I want to do three. Come on, let's do three.
Finish it up while we read number three, okay? Come over.
Y'all can go to the next.
Scenario number three. You can read it on your paper or you can read it on the board. Whatever you prefer. Okay, pretend you are swimming in a pool with your friends during the summer. In the distance, you and your friends start seeing lightning. Should you keep swimming in the pool?
No.
If not, what should you do? Answer on your paper.
Go inside the house.
I'm gonna keep swimming.
That would be dangerous. You would get electrocuted and have to go to the hospital.
Myself can handle it. Pretend you're swimming in the pool. And my friends leave me. Guess what? I'm gonna take the power from the light.
What you think you can get superpowers if you get shocked by lightning?
That happened in the movie.
Yeah, I know. I think it was Flash.
Yeah, that is. That's true. Oh,
Flash.
Miss Isabella, how do you spell safe again?
Hey, I can pick this up with my legs.
No. That was Tim.
No, that was Ariana.
You look at mine.
I can barely do it. I still look the cutest. That's all
I can barely.
say.
Like, look at my head.
You finished.
Are we ready to move to number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I know good.
Scenario number 4.
Yay.
You and your family are at the beach when you hear that a hurricane is heading your way. Should you stay at the beach?
No.
What are some ways to prepare for a hurricane?
Run to your beach house.
Oh, remember we talked about it in our text, okay?
Run to the beach house.
What? I'm just stretching.
Thumbs up. Whenever you're done, thumbs up. Joshua, thumbs up. You good? You ready to move on? Okay, last one.
Okay, finally, the last one. Wow.
Scenario number 5. Your friend invites you to come over and play. However, for the past week, it has been raining very hard and the ground is starting to cover with water. Should you drive on the roads to your friend's house during this weather? Why or why not? Whenever you're done, raise your hand and I'll come get your paper. we have one more thing we're gonna do, Nate. Ariana, are you done?
Yeah.
Pass your paper.
Yeah.
Do I have everybody's papers? Okay. Last thing we're gonna do together, okay? Okay, we're gonna go back to our sticky notes that we did earlier. And we're gonna read some of them, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read a few of the things that y'all wrote. We don't know who wrote what, so you don't have to tell me who did.
No.
And I want you guys to give me a thumbs up if you think that it's a good example of a weather hazard, but I want you to give me a thumbs down if you think it's not. Okay? So let's see. I'm gonna.
I'm scared. Take some of them down. Don't take mine down. Take mine down.
Well, I'm gonna go through all of them. And then we all agree that it's a good weather hazard, we'll write it on the paper. Sound good? Okay. What about a tornado? Thumbs up that it's a weather hazard, thumbs down if it's not. Thumbs up, we all agree? Owen, why do you think, Emery, why do you think it's not?
Because what if it's in the air? In the swimming.
That means that there would be invisible ground somewhere where you can't see, or you just are blind and you can't see it.
It's yes.
Ariana, why do you think that it is?
Because like tornadoes, they are like a weather hazard, but sometimes it's like no one thinks it is, but it is, and the fact that it is because it takes up everything.
Yeah. Ariana, what's one way you can stay safe during a tornado?
During a tornado? Okay, so
One way.
I don't want to do two ways. Okay, so one way is stay away from windows, and another. Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying that.
I want to say one.
What
I
about?
don't want to stay away from electricity because you have something plugged up, it'll shock you if the thunderstorm.
I get shot before.
What about a flood?
It doesn't feel good.
Wait, thumbs up if you think it's a weather hazard.
Yes.
You said what?
A flood.
Oh no.
Do you want to talk about a flood in our video?
That's thumbs up.
Leanne, what's a flood?
It's good. Big water.
Yeah. When a lot of water covers
It's kind of like
everything.
a flake, like you can put a boat in it. Nope.
What is a tsunami?
Oh, what's one way to stay safe
It's
from
like a
flood?
big wave of water.
Like a safe voice.
Like
but
it's kind of like
I was talking.
If there's a flood, you could get on top of your roof though. So
So you get wet. Yeah, but how you get on top
What
of the roof?
about a hurricane?
Because you go outside.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Yes.
Do you think a hurricane is a weather hazard?
No.
Ariana, why do you think it's not?
Because you said hurricane. I'll give that a thumbs up.
Okay. Why do you think it's not?
Because if because all it is rain and wind. Yeah. Ain't gonna blow you away.
What did we just talk about? A lot of rain leads to.
Flood,
right?
It's not in our house during hurricane sound, but it didn't touch our
Yeah.
house. And I
But
thought it did for
Emory, but Emory,
There was a thumbs down.
but Emory.
Thumbs up for hurricane as a weather hazard?
Yes.
No.
Maybe.
I have no suggestion.
Callie, why is it a weather hazard?
A hurricane? Because a hurricane is like really important to know because if you don't know if it's coming or not, and if you're out of electricity, and you can't know, and the wind's really strong, and you hear the sound goes out from our house, at your house, hurricane or tornadoes coming.
Yeah, that's true. There was one that we talked about. It was mentioned very briefly in our text earlier. somebody wrote down winter hazard.
This is.
I did that.
What is a blizzard? Jonathan, what's a blizzard?
It has like a bunch of snow and it'll cover the.
That's why I
Yeah.
called.
It's very cold.
Yeah, very cold. Is that a weather hazard?
Yes.
A blizzard?
Yes.
No.
Why do you think it's not?
It's always snow. It's not always snow. That's a
Telling people where to go play in that.
No.
Gabby, what's yours?
A blizzard is actually a weather hazard because in Chicago, most people, when there's snow, they usually have blizzards for like 3 days, and they get trapped inside their house because there's so much snow.
Lucky.
No, that's not a good thing. Yes, it is.
They could go to their attic and get an axe or something and chop a little bit of their roof and go play in
Well,
that
we don't
snow.
know. Do blizzards happen in our area?
Why
not?
One time.
Why not? Like, not just snow, but like blizzards are lots and lots of heavy
Like
snow.
they cover up your door.
Do they happen here?
Yeah, that happened one time.
No.
I wish.
So it's kind of hard to know about blizzards.
This place had been.
But blizzards can kind of happen the same way that hurricanes do. Where you need to stay away from your windows, but also it'll shut off your electricity and you need to store up food. All of that kind of stuff also applies for
I
it.
got something that came from the text.
Yes,
What?
you do.
A hailstorm.
Yeah, that's true. So blizzards
That can
and
damage your
hailstorms
house.
Miss
Those
Bella.
can go through your
are
window.
both also considered.
When there was a hailstorm, one kid in my brother's
Okay,
class
I'm
almost
scared
got hit
to
by a
my
piece
leg.
of it. Like a few weeks ago. It was close to.
Are we happy with
his
this list?
Yes.
Is there anything else that we can think of?
Yeah.
Allie?
Volcano.
It could be a volcano. Can I give her a clue?
A volcano is more of a natural disaster kind
Yeah. Can I give her a clue? Like a
of. Gabby, what
hurricane.
do you think?
Drought.
A drought. That's a good one. That was in our
Drought.
video, wasn't it?
Yes.
No water. Waterless.
Yeah, good.
I got one.
Mist and spirits.
I got
Yeah.
one that was in our classroom.
Blizzards are actually kind of good because then you can eat all the snow. You never eat snow. Don't eat the yellow.
You can get the ice cream flavor. Coke or dog. You can get the ice cream flavor.
To finish our lesson, Owen, you guys turn and tell your partners your favorite thing about today's lesson. And then we'll read off.
There was a thunderstorm.
The breeze brown one. I just heard one. The breeze brown Callie, stop it. That is disgusting. He'll kill you. Don't have. If you can't eat, if you can eat right there by the box,
Never get my windows.
I know. That doesn't hurt.
Okay, so my favorite
Oh, you say what is it? I said it is less intended by also size I got another
so I had one lesson today. So I had learned how to stay safe for like tornadoes, hurricanes, flood and drought in the field. That's
I'm figuring out 16 times 16.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
See, that's what I said.
16 times 16 is not 20.
Yep.
My hands are now. The birthday is 16 times 16.
Can I tell everybody what I said?
Y'all can put your science books up. We're done right now.
Hey, somebody.
Family
Great.
No, hold on.
camera.
Yo, do you have a
Yeah, just keep
Stop. Okay.
I'm on the roll.
Look, I can.
Yes.
How many fish? You're holding right behind your back.
69. How many? No. I bet you
No.
It's nothing.
I bet you can say nothing.
No.
I bet you don't say nothing.
Then I bet you guys don't get no cover.
Hey.